Hola, soy detective de la cultura, investigando tus cine favoritas. Thank you. I just offended the entire Latin America and the Iberian Peninsula. Okay. Anyway, today I'm gonna do a movie review on the new Dora the Explorer movie, the Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Yes, ever since the trailer came out, I was like, dude, I have to watch this movie. I have to watch it. So yesterday, me and my cousin, we spent like over 150 Hong Kong dollars just to watch this thing. And is it worth it? I don't know. Because I'm gonna be honest here, it's a crappy movie. However, it's not as crappy as I've expected. Not at all. But what I'm 100% sure about this movie is that this is the most insane movie I've watched in the year. It probably is. Like, I know this is a kid's movie, but this movie exceeds beyond that. The logic, it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Me and my cousin were watching the movie late at night, and we were just looking at the screen, and we were just like, the entire time we were like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I guess you could say that this movie is entertaining, but not in the way it's supposed to, but in a way because it makes zero sense. So I'm gonna just break down all the plot points here. So, Dora the Explorer, a beloved cartoon series by many people in the USA, in Mexico, in Latin America, and also everywhere around the world. Yeah. And then it's a live action movie now, and I thought it's gonna be big cringe. And yes, there are cringy moments, but it's not as cringy as I thought. In fact, it is more bizarre and strange and deranged and honestly confusing than it is cringy. So we have Dora the Explorer when she's young in the very beginning of the movie. In the beginning, we get this sequence where Dora and her cousin Diego were sort of in a car, and you know, they were chasing after the swiper fox. Swiper, no swiping. And you know, the map was talking, the backpack was talking, and the monkey Boots came out of nowhere, and it's this really crazy cringy thing. But then it stopped there. After that, it's actually a pretty realistic movie, and it also kind of makes fun of the original Dora the Explorer cartoon. Like in the cartoons, Dora would suddenly face the audience and break the fourth wall and say, oh look, this guy has osteoporosis. Can you say osteoporosis? And in the movie, she kind of does that also, but her parents and the people around her acknowledges that she's probably a schizophrenic. So they would go, it's just a phase, you know, as if, you know, Dora the Explorer is talking to the air. So it kind of makes fun of itself, and I actually kind of appreciate that. Also, the fox's swiper, no swiping. The fox is wearing a mask, and the characters were like, why does it even need to wear a mask? Because all foxes look the same. And then afterwards, when Dora the Explorer grew up, when she's 16 years old or so, her parents sent her to the city, to LA, to study in high school and all that. And it's big cringe, okay? Dora the Explorer, she's barely functioning as a human being. She might be a sociopath. It's actually kind of scary. She always carries this scarily happy attitude towards everything, and whenever somebody asks a question about the forest or this animal or that culture, Dora the Explorer can just basically spit 50 sentences of an essay to answer that question. So without a question, she's probably a psychopath. But anyway, she doesn't know how to function as a human being. She doesn't know how to socialize with people. So when she arrived to LA, she told every single stranger that she's Dora. Hola, soy Dora. Hola, soy Dora. And she went to high school with her cousin Diego, and it's like another one of those terrible, crappy ass depictions of high school. It's just, you know, one cliche, cringy, stereotypical high school where everybody are bullies, and if they aren't, then they're nerds and geeks and whatever. And yeah, there's even a dance sequence in the middle of the thing where Dora the Explorer, I don't know why I keep saying Dora the Explorer, I'm just gonna say Dora, where Dora wears this weird sun suit, and she's the only one who's dancing in the middle of a dance ball. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, honestly, I kind of feel bad for Isabella Moner, even though she got some cash out of this movie. But what she did in this movie, also, same goes for every other actor. And I think it's been proven that none of the actors in the movie are really taking it seriously, especially at the end of the movie when Michael Pena and Eva Longoria had to pretend to cry, I guess. It was so bad that I didn't know if they were actually crying or if they were pretending to cry in the movie, because they just didn't take it that seriously anyway. So the performances, they're pure garbage on this thing. Anyway, back to the plot. One day, the school had to go to this field trip, and suddenly Dora, Diego, and the other two classmates, they got kidnapped by these mercenaries, and they got kidnapped all the way back to the Peruvian jungle because the mercenaries wanted to find gold in the lost city of gold called Parapata. And because Dora's parents are going there as well, so the mercenaries had to kidnap the kids so that the kids would lead the mercenaries to her parents, to Dora's parents, so that they would go to Parapata. And, you know, that's basically it. And you know, the arch enemy of Dora is Swiper, the Swiper Fox, right? And yet, for some reason, the Swiper Fox has like 2 minutes of screen time in the movie. But yeah, anyway, it's only realistic that the biggest enemy of a little girl is not a fox. But yeah, anyway, everything else in the movie is totally insane. It's bizarre, it's weird, it's strange, and it's not supposed to be that way. So there are 4 kids, okay? Dora, Diego, and the 2 other, the nerd and the mean girl. All of a sudden, the mean girl wanted to take a shit. And Dora was like, hey, let's sing a song. So Dora sang a song about taking a shit while digging a shithole in the middle of the forest. And the mean girl was originally really mean, and then she started singing as well. So I really don't understand what's going on. And then there's another scene where all of them, plus another adult who apparently was an old friend of Dora's parents, they were stuck in a quicksand, which is really weird because A, Dora had been living in the jungle for like over 10 years. How does she not know that it is quicksand? B, how is this quicksand even real if you can just escape at the bottom because there is a hole underneath? As if the quicksand can float midair? C, everybody escaped the quicksand except for the one adult, and he was stuck on the ground like that Keanu Reeves meme, and then suddenly suddenly 2 scorpions came to his head, and instead of biting him, they had sex. Yes, I know it's crazy, but that's actually what happened in the movie. But really, the rest of the movie are basically a bunch of jungle puzzles, and, you know, that's basically it. one of the jungle puzzles involved them walking on the ground and suddenly collapsing into a chamber. And then suddenly the nerd pulled a lever and the chamber is filled with water. And instead of floating back up to the ground, they wanted to go down and go through the sluice gate, apparently. Which is just weird. I guess the ground patched up by itself after they collapsed underneath the ground. I really don't know what's happening. Anyway, they went into this watery room, and actually earlier on in the movie, we get this random, unnecessary line where the nerd says, "Oh, hey, by the way, I can hold my breath for 7 minutes." And that's basically it. There's nothing more in that dialogue, in that conversation. So, pretty obviously, it is a foreshadowing that the nerd will save the kids in that water chamber. So yeah, it's kind of dumb. There's another jungle puzzle where the ground, originally it's flat. Okay, originally it's flat. It's suddenly tilted and there were spikes underneath. And the kids were on top and they held on to the pillars and all that. And they slide it down, and at the very last second, they jump over the pikes and landed on the ground. And Diego said, "Hey, it's forced perspective. The spikes, they're an illusion." And that's really weird because he probably doesn't know what forced perspective means. Because if it's forced perspective, then the spikes shouldn't even really be there, so they don't really have to jump. Or maybe they do have to jump because the spikes and the tilted ground are collinear. But then if that's true, then yeah, anyway, forget it. But the craziness and the weirdness doesn't just end there. We have a really insane sequence where Dora, Diego, and the adult went through this weird giant flowery garden, and all the flowers they spit some sort of drug, like some psychedelic drug, like LSD or something, and all three of those characters took those drugs, like accidentally consumed it and breathed it in, and they had a drug sequence. Like they tripped balls. They tripped balls. Like, it's insane. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you if you haven't watched the movie, but what happened after they consumed the drug was something that I least expected. It's straight up insane. Not only is nudity briefly happened, but not even in real life. It's just like when me and my cousin watched that part, we were like, what? And also, if you forgot, Dora has a pet monkey called Boots, and it looks absolutely terrifying. Oh my gosh. It would be a nightmare if I see that face in my dreams. But anyway, the monkey is voiced by none other than Danny Trejo. Now, the monkey's voice is supposed to be very friendly and cartoony and young and innocent, and it's voiced by Danny Trejo. And, you know, you don't have to worry about that because the monkey doesn't speak for the entirety of the movie until, like, the I don't know, the sixth last scene or something. And it's just the one of the weirdest and biggest what the hell moments in the movie. And what else is there? Yeah, basically the entire movie just ends in this sing dance number where all the nerds and bullies of that high school just go together and they all dance together, which is fine. It's not like a terrible cringy dance or whatever, but I don't get it. But yeah, at that point, I really don't know what to say about the movie. It's bad. The performances are bad. The plot makes no sense, and everything else is just not that good. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad this movie exists. I'm very glad that this movie exists because I'm entertained by it, and honestly, it's not as bad as I thought. I am saying Dora the Explorer is, well, it's not Gone with the Wind because it's very memorable. I'm gonna say it's meh, and I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. So, have you watched Dora and the Lost City of Gold? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. Bye. Adios, amigo.